Welcome back to Rune Aetts. Aetts means family or clan, and if you're in the Scandinavian tribe family background, then you would say Aett. Okay, so we have the Germanic runes. They're called the Elders, and that is 24 pieces or symbols. Okay, and so the younger set, which is more the Scandinavian, think Viking era, there's only 16 runes. So we're going to use the Germanic, and we are going to do a topic, because pretty soon it will be a lunar eclipse on Tuesday, and hopefully we are finishing out more processes to never do something again. We've learned our lesson. We're evolving. So we're going to let the elders talk to us about a topic that we need to know about. So let's go. Okay, elders, what would you like to discuss tonight, please? They would like to discuss, this is Iwas, and so, I think so. Let me look. Could be Swoilo. There's two Z-looking runes. Let me see if I can find that quickly, just to verify. They're so very similar. I am not seeing this easily, so I might digress. If Swoilo comes up, then I'll know. Oh, yeah. No, it is Swoilo. Okay. So you have to really watch the F looking runes and the Z looking runes. So this is Swoilo. This is the 8th rune in the emotional and mental Aett or family set. So this is all about, this is the lightning rod. So this is all about self-mastery and self-control. Okay, so this is all energy. If you think lightning bolt, okay, success. Super. Okay, so with this, why did you bring this up? What is the root for knowing about this, please? What's the root issue, or why is this brought up? What's going on? Okay. We have Nathis. So in order to have self-mastery and self-control, we need to figure out what is absolutely necessary. We might have a difficult lesson to learn, but we need to search for what's essential. So that's why they're saying that. What's essential? Have self-control and self-mastery. Okay, what's the current event? What's going on? What's the current event, please? Okay, right now we are dealing with Fehu, so that's all about cattle and money. This is a lot of gain, a lot of trust, a lot of offspring. So right now we're sitting pretty, but it's probably because we have self-control and self-mastery. We figured out what's essential. Or if it's not that case, if you are beware of fraud or you're losing your money, then that's how you would get control of that. Okay, what's the future outcome? That'll maybe help us out here in the direction. What's the future outcome? Okay, ooh, we have Eurus. This is the bison rune. This is all about having courage, conquest, okay, having freedom, having passion. This is a lot of energy again, just like Swoilo. So a lot of energy going on here. It's powerful. Cautionary tale that fits on the cautionary tale of this. If you haven't done the work, then it's telling you don't exaggerate your abilities or your power, because you could risk failure by overflated ego here or a power trip. You could take unnecessary risks and set yourself up for failure. Okay. What would be some, what would be some limitations, some problems here, some barriers for being able to reach this self-mastery and self-control? What could be some barriers or some setbacks to this? Okay, Wanju, this is all about satisfaction. This is the 8th rune on the family Aett of physical or practical and earthly matters. So the barrier is having satisfaction. You have joy, happiness, success. So the barrier might be having all of that and then not, again, overestimating yourself, having a lot of fun, a lot of money and such, but not figuring out what's absolutely necessary. So then you're being reckless and you don't have the self-control and self-mastery. So that could be what's the problem here. Okay, so let's look at any other advice or things that you would want to tell us, please. Anything else you want to say? This is the Hearth rune. This is Ingwaz. So this is on the spiritual plane. We haven't had any on the spiritual plane yet. So this is telling us this is shelter, this is yield, this is good investment. Okay, it could look like a DNA. This is the male fertility rune side of things. So some people think it's like a cocoon or gestation, because then the next rune would be the butterfly rune of Dagas or Day. So you might have to cocoon up, let things gestate, develop, so that you're not making some crazy decisions. You give your time to figure out what's necessary. And it might take some back and forth getting used to it, but this is a very powerful rune message, because I'm seeing this as all really powerful. I mean, you can totally have this, you can totally do this because of all of the energy going on. So let me pull up the strips and let me show you. So we're just going to put this into a pattern here so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, so we have 3 in the Aett family or clan, right? The Aett of the practical and earthly matter. You have 2 in the emotional and mental Aett family or clan. Now these you can't reverse. So if there's a message that you don't really like to hear it, you can change it. And so then it doesn't happen. I mean, this is giving you advice. So if you don't like something that you're hearing or seeing, then you can make change so that it can be avoided. But these you have to do. You can't reverse that. This line, you cannot reverse that. So you have to grow through figuring out what's necessary so that you can have self-mastery and control. That's not an unreasonable expectation, really, so that you can have the full prosperity. So this is very energetic. This is very energetic for sure, and so is this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power runes, basically prosperity, financial security, success, all of that. The only one that's maybe not feeling that way is the necessary one. Okay, this is not the figuring out what's essential. If you can figure out that part, then you have all of these other runes taken care of. So hopefully that makes sense to you. As far as the younger tribe, Scandinavian tribe, what runes would come off the board for this message? Just this one. That's it. The rest of them stay on the board, so we wouldn't have this Hearth family. So the message is pretty much the same, even with that rune taken out. We're still self-mastery, we're still highly successful, we got a lot of money and power going on. We just need to figure out what's necessary so we don't overstep our boundaries, getting too overly confident so that we blow it, all in dutiful pace, right? Cocoon up if you need to, take your time. So with that, I'll let you go for the night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.